Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
What up, my MMA homies? Another last-minute thought just came to me. Should Khabib completely flip the script and fight Southpaw? My main struggle with Khabib's chances against Conor has always been how he closes the distance. Now, given that DC is Khabib's training partner and sometimes coach, it makes me wonder, does DC have something up his sleeve for Conor? DC has beat two bigger, heavy-handed strikers. And both times, key to victory, was his ability to close the distance, despite having a reach disadvantage. When fighters are not in an open stance, straight rights aren't going to be easy, as DC can hide behind his shoulder. This results in opponents trying to throw overhands, to try go around the shoulder. Against Volkan, DC stayed on the center line, rather than fleeing, almost tempting his opponent to throw. Every time Volkan threw an overhand, DC would throw up his lead hand, and try to move his head off the center line. This tactic accomplished two things. First, it allowed DC to smother the overhand strike, and it also allowed him to get head control. From here he could look to throw uppercuts and dirty box. When DC fought Stipe had a very clear strategy in mind, in terms of how to counter DC's wrestling. He wanted to step in, to throw overhands to go around DC's lead shoulder, and to use his lead hand as a defensive post, when DC tried to close the distance. Stipe was hoping to use these defensive frames to provide cover, when he recovered from throwing heavy strikes. I have made a full post-fight study on this fight, but in a nutshell, DC was counting on Stipe using this post during clinches, and was looking to catch Stipe on the breaks as he framed out. Now obviously, the reason I bring these fights up, is because Conor has a very similar defense in mind when it comes to wrestlers. Against Nate Diaz, as both were southpaw, the straight left was not as effective for Conor, as Nate's shoulder was a natural barrier he could hide behind. As a result, in both fights, you could see Conor throwing a lot of overhands, trying to loop around Nate's shoulder to catch him. Even Conor's posting defense is not that effective against a fellow southpaw, as the shoulder is blocking the straight path to the jaw. Now of course, switching stances would mess up Khabib's striking, and probably slow his shots, but if his objective is just to clinch up, and get Conor to the fence, it might not be as bad a trade-off as it seems. Okay, I swear this is the last Conor and Khabib video. Only a few hours more and plenty of time for either fighter to pull out or miss weight. But nonetheless, do let me know if you think Khabib might pull this surprise, and go southpaw on Conor. And if not, how do you think he intends to get Conor to the mat? Take care all.
I think one of the other different things about Conor McGregor is his framing. BJJ Scout did an excellent job at highlighting this. A lot of fighters, when they defend takedowns, they try and counter with sort of one shot, whereas Conor's focus is stop the takedown first, stop them from even getting in there, use those frames, and only then focus on actually striking and doing some damage. I think the other difference about Khabib and his past opponents is a lot of them